My husband literally named our daughter after a OF creator. Now, mind you, I am just finding out about Sophie Rain.
So besties, what are you going to do if you find out your husband named your daughter after an OF creator, a stripper, or a porn star? What are you going to do? Your husbands named their daughters after women they were cheating on them with. I'm going to roll the clip, let us watch, and I'll be sharing my thoughts at the end of the video. You want to stay tuned and watch till the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comment section and let us dive into it.
My husband literally named our daughter after a OF creator. Now, mind you, I am just finding out about Sophie Rain. Now, when I was pregnant and he brought up the name Sophie Rain, I never asked him where it came from because I thought it was super cute. Sophie Rain, okay? I never once thought about looking the name Sophie Rain up to see who, I just never thought. I just thought maybe it's somebody in his family or he just liked the name. Well, I was just scrolling TikTok and Sophie Rain pops up. And this young girl doing this really cutesy dance. So I do some more digging. I go on my husband's phone. He is subbing to these very inappropriate pictures, okay? Not like so inappropriate, you know what I mean? But inappropriate because he's 53 years old. He's 53 years old. How old is Sophie Rain? 1920? What do I do? Should I be creeped out? Because I am creeped out. I'm going to go to the courthouse and change my daughter's name now. This is weird. I don't even want to call her Sophie. What?
I'm actually shaking. I'm so angry right now. Just found out that my husband named our daughter after the hooker he's been sleeping with for the last 8 years, since his bachelor party, whatever the fuck you call it. I'm fucking pissed. I honestly don't think you're even gonna believe how I found out because it's absolutely insane. So let me fill you in on the whole story, right? He has been seeing this hooker since his bachelor party. He flew out to Las Vegas to see her for this bachelor party that he did with the guys and whatever else. Got her phone number, and then every year they've kind of him and his guys have gone out to Las Vegas every single year since, just to have a guys trip once a year. And apparently every time at this year he hires Annalise, the hooker, and sees her for that, right? Well, I was going to go on vacation with my girlfriends for a spring break, kind of getaway. We were all going to go to Cabo and just relax at a resort. And I was supposed to go, but my trip got canceled last minute. I'm at the airport, got canceled. So I come home and he has her here. He has flown her out here. And I walk in and see them in our bed doing you know what. Anyway, our daughter's name is Annalise, and I don't know what to do. She's already 7 years old. It's her name. It's a little too late to change it, unless I want to tell my daughter everything. I don't know that I want to tell my daughter that because I feel like that would be a little gut-wrenching for a child. But yeah, this is... Alright, I'm gonna go.
Taylor, you found out something pretty shocking about the identity of one of your subscribers. What happened?
So about 2 months into me having my OnlyFans account, I had this subscriber almost since the beginning. He had spent around 2,000 Australian dollars, bought every single thing that I sent him. We chatted every day on there, and he had a very specific username that was not a automatically generated one or anything like that. And an account with the same username had viewed my TikTok profile when I could see who was viewing it at the time. And yeah, so I had the exact same username and it said from your contacts. And my heart just sank into my stomach and I was like, I don't have that many phone numbers in my phone. I know who this person is and he has spent this much money on my account, seen everything. and I just sort of went into super detective mode and I said, I need to find out who this is. I went through all of the contacts in my phone. I crossed out anybody who had a established TikTok account and crossed out the people that said invite to TikTok, and I was left with 6 names. It was a couple of guys from school, one girl from school, someone's mum, and my stepdad. And I had just thought, okay, it could be those guys, but I feel like they would have told me, like they always message me happy birthday. It's not going to be them. It's not going to be my girlfriend. It's not going to be this mother. It has to be my stepdad.
Wow.
So I went out on a limb and messaged the account on OnlyFans, and I said, I know who this is. And he responded saying, who? ? Babe, you don't know. And I then hit back pretty quickly and I said, you need to tell her before my sister and I do. And with
Her being your mum?
Yeah, being my mum. And within 2 minutes, I got a text message from my stepdad saying, Tay, you're free to talk.
Wow.
My husband cheated on me with an OF girl, got her pregnant, and then she filed for child support. She filed for child support in custody, and he sued her back for the amount of money that she made on the videos that he was in. How did I find this out? I found out that he had cheated on me because his best friend sent me the video on her OF account where his face is in it. His whole face and obviously body is in it. And then on top of that, she ends up being pregnant. She has like a bunch of videos where she's pregnant in her OF, right? And he's in those videos. And then I find out about it and I'm like, what the hell? She ends up having the baby, right? And she files for custody and child support, as she should. And inevitably, I see the paperwork. And he's like, oh, no, this girl just owes me a bunch of money. She's just making this up because she doesn't want to give me the money that she owes me. And I'm like, what does she owe you money for? What does she owe you money for? Turns out he wants money for all the videos he was in. Fair enough. You were an actor in them? Sure, good. Go for you. But that wasn't what I agreed to. So anyway, they ended up like making up, getting back together. She dropped her child support and custody case. I swooped in, filed for divorce, filed for custody, and filed for alimony and child support. I'm also asking for the house, the car, all of that. The state that I live in, if you cheat on your spouse, you lose everything. So I downloaded all of those videos and I'm going to show them in court. I can't wait to show them in court. He's wearing his wedding ring. He's wearing his wedding ring in them. He's got my name tattooed across his chest in them. Don't worry. I'm going to get my paycheck. And baby, you're not going to have anything. Jessica, listen. You're going to end up with nothing. I'm going to leave him high and dry. Enjoy.
So you are aware that like you're the final boss when it comes to OF, right?
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Mm-hmm. And I know you saw the clip of Julia making $400,000 a month, so I just need to know, like, how much are you making a month?
I don't know if I don't really want to hurt your feelings. I just don't.
Hurt my feelings? What do you mean?
I don't want to say.
You don't have to say, just show me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I won't break your phone. I actually like kind of tearing up. $4 million? $4 million in a month?
Yeah.
400,000 in the last 7 days, in case you were not even, it's more than that.
Thanks.
This, I can't even be mad at you. Like, this is y'all's fault. Like, how do y'all men even have that amount of money? You have wives, children, baby mamas, bills. Women, if you're seeing this, go through your man's phone. Because $4 million a month, I promise you will find that link in his search history. Go to private. Go to the private tab. It's right there. Sophie Rain, Spider-Man video, bot. Sick, you weird. It's weird, because she also looks 14. So, get your bag, I guess.
Thanks.
$4 million. Disgusting.
Sophia Rain, let's talk about it. So recently, this OF model released how much she's made for the year, and it was $43 million. That's how much she's grossed on that platform, right? And so I was curious when I heard those numbers, like, what are you doing so differently over there than the other girls, right? You got a lot of competition over there on OF. So what is it that's getting you 43 million, right? So then I heard more about it, and allegedly she's a virgin and she don't do corn on there. I don't know exactly what she doing, but she ain't doing that, right? And so that leads me into talking about how a lot of y'all girls don't realize that you get more for doing less, right? You never learned that because your mama never taught that to you, right? You never seen that before. But you get more by doing less. When I was younger and I used to be out there dating, men would be so happy to meet me and realize that I had standards and boundaries and that I wouldn't just sleep with them because they took me out to eat or because they bought me something nice. It made them want to do more and then more and more, right? Right. So the same girls who was out there busting it wide open, trying to get the same things that I was getting for doing nothing, right? I was doing nothing but giving these men conversation, companionship, hanging out with them. And I would get the same things or more that you was getting for busting it wide open, and they still didn't want you, right? And that's why I always tell girls, right? You selling yourself short when the only thing you got to offer is what's in between your legs. You selling yourself short, right? I've always knew that the best thing I've ever had to offer anybody, including myself, is this up here, right? And so if you can't appreciate this, you can't appreciate nothing else about me. And I'm not going to sell myself short by being out here giving my body to all of these different men for what? For what? It doesn't make sense, right? So just knowing that she could pull in a gross of $43 million without even having to do corn on that site. Meanwhile, all of these girls is doing God knows what on that site just to not even clear probably a meal through a year, right? Crazy. You got girls on there with you catching STDs and you probably ain't even for what, a couple $100. People ain't even buying your subscriptions. It's very telling.
One of the most disgusting statistics I have heard in a while is that allegedly 95% of the men who subscribe to adult websites on websites like OnlyFans, OF, 95% of those men that pay women for their services online are married men. Behind their wives' backs, they're paying other women for their services. And sometimes I will get on social media and I'll give people like advice. Watch out for these red flags in someone you're dating. And I'll talk about unhealthy patterns in marriages. I talk about this as a divorce attorney. And people will say, oh, that's crazy. That's harsh. You know what's crazy and what's harsh is that thousands of married men are paying women to perform online behind their wife's back. That's crazy. That is harsh. That is disgusting. As a divorce attorney, I don't wonder why people can't stay married these days. Like, anytime I talk about this, people will be like, you're so prude. You know what? As a divorce attorney, I should be a huge fan of the adult film industry. It keeps me employed. Marriages everywhere are collapsing because men are so foolish. They click just to see a little bit more, It keeps me employed. But I still can't be like, yes, go, that industry is so awesome, because it's not. It's evil, it's filthy, it's dark. That's such a dark reality, and it's not like men are victims, right? They know what they're getting into. They know what they're clicking on. If you get yourself into that stuff and it becomes an addiction or a habit, it's on you. You're still responsible. Anyway, next time someone's like, oh, what you're saying is so harsh, it's so crazy. No, those statistics are crazy.
Over the weekend, I found out my husband of 7 years has been subscribing to my best friend's OnlyFans page.
Oh, geez, Sophie, I'm really sorry. That's horrible.
How did you figure that out, Sophie?
He has a certain addiction to a certain type of industry, which I've supported him.
Okay.
And then it kind of popped up in a message over the weekend. Looked into it further, did some digging with the username, and realised it was my best friend's page.
Have you told your friend?
Yeah, I asked her to confirm if it was in fact hers, and she has.
Did you confront him about it?
Oh, yes, he's well aware that I know.
And what did you say?
I'm not going to let something like that slide.
Yeah.
He knows that I'm really hurt. I'm currently 24 weeks pregnant with our third child.
Oh, Sophie.
I just explained to him I didn't think it would be someone so close to home.
Absolutely. Yeah, just to find that out anyway, let alone someone who you know and is so close to you. Oh, God, Sophie, that's tough.
Yeah, sorry to hear, Sophie.
What next, Sophie? Like, what do you do?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out, and that's what I'm struggling with. It's how do you go forward from that?
This OnlyFans model ran into one of her subscribers, and he is her biggest spender. And you want to know how much she spent on her OnlyFans? $62,000. That is enough to pay rent for more than 3 years. And literally after they met, he sent her another $30,000. But it gets worse. Somehow he got her phone number and started harassing her with text messages begging for attention. Like, he didn't double text, triple text, or quadruple text. He infinitely texted. Like, he sent multiple essays on essays, literally just begging for her to acknowledge his existence. Oh, but it's not over. This man even went so far as to get a full tattoo of her face on the back of his leg. Like, the tattoo is probably bigger than her actual face. And he did all of that just to get a semi-awkward picture with her and literally be saved in her phone as Weird OF Fan. I literally read Webster's dictionary from front to back, and I still couldn't find the words to describe just how down bad this motherfucker is.
I found out in an article on the Washington Examiner, it said, according to OnlyFans, nearly half of its 220 million users are American, or more than 94 million. Considering that 87% of users overall are male, we can assume that's about 82 million American men, 3/4 of whom are in the 18 to 45-year-old age bracket. That means that about half of all American men are subscribed to OnlyFans. And a large majority of those men are in the prime of their life, 18 to 45, when they should be having families, building careers, going out and setting out to do whatever they were born to do. Bar OnlyFans being banned, which I just don't see that happening. If people made the personal decision to no longer engage in this type of gratification, so much of our society would drastically change and drastically improve. Because our society and its success does, for a large part, hinge upon the actions and the leadership of men, and of men in that specific 18 to 45-year-old age bracket.
Expect anything from a man. Men are the biggest cowards, they are the biggest hypocrites. They will come online and say they want a good woman, they want a good girl, they want a girl who is pure, who doesn't know anything bad, who doesn't do anything bad. But these are the very same men who are on OnlyFans, patronizing girls on OnlyFans. They watch these women's content and they pay these women. Look at the amount of money Sophia Rain is making in 1 month. There are a lot of these men who are obsessed with hoish women. They want a woman who is a hoe. They want a bad bitch. But they will come online and pretend and say they want a good girl. But low-key, they are dealing with hoes. And the reason they do this is because they don't want the general public to bash them, to mock them, to laugh at them, to humiliate them, or ridicule them for being hypocrites. They will pretend to be in love with a good girl, but secretly they are dealing with hoes. Secretly they are paying for prostitutes. They go to strip clubs and they are paying strippers to have sex with them. Not only to give them a lap dance, but to have sex with them. They are doing things to get... They are on social media, following half-naked Instagram baddies. These are the type of women they are going to secretly be dealing with on the low-key. But you who is the wife, you who is the girlfriend, they will come, pretend in your face, act like they are really in love with you. You're the one they want. You're the one who they want to raise their kids. The reason these men picked you is because you're the good girl who is good for the image. You're the good girl who is capable of raising their kids and keeping the home together. The woman he's spoiling, the woman he's spending money on, the woman he's going above and beyond to please is a hoe. The amount of content some of these men consume from OnlyFans in a day is sickening. These men, they pay these women, they follow these women, they stalk these women. Some of these men are in love with OF models. They will come and pretend and act like they don't like a girl who does OnlyFans. They will pretend and act like they can never be with a girl who does OnlyFans. But guess what? They are the same men who are begging to be with these women. They are in these women's DMs, begging to have a moment with these women, to sleep with these women. They are obsessed with these women. They stalk these women to the point where some of them are even naming their daughters after OF models. The amount of money these women make from OnlyFans is enough proof for you guys to see that these men you're so in love with, they are online, stalking women half naked, watching their videos, consuming OnlyFans content. The fact that a man will name his daughter after someone he sexualized is something you need to be scared of. You need to be scared. You shouldn't allow your daughter with that man. These are some of the things that scares me about marriage. The whole thing creeps me out. And if I were you, I'll be scared to allow my daughter in the presence of this man. Imagine your husband naming your daughter after someone he's sexualized, after someone he wants to have sex with. The scariest thing about marriage is you can never be too careful. You can never know a guy 100%. You can be married to a man and you think you know who this man is. But at the end of the day, you end up realizing you're married to a sex offender, you're married to a rapist, you're married to a serial killer, you're married to a pedophile, you're married to a man who has a sex addiction, a man who is secretly paying for prostitutes, paying for hoes, a man who lives a double life. You think this is a character you're dealing with, whereas you are dealing with a mask. He's putting on a mask in front of the world. He's putting on a mask in front of you. You don't know who he is. And the minute he puts a ring on it, you get married to him, the mask falls off. You're dealing with a totally different human being. He becomes a total stranger. That's why I'll tell all the girlies to check that phone. Check the guy's phone, check his messages, check his Google history, check everything about your man. Stalk him, do what you have to do to gather enough information, because you may be dealing with someone and you don't know who you're really dealing with. Some of these men, they have double lives, they are living double lives. They have secret that you could be dealing with a man who has a full-blown relationship. He is married, he has another family in another state, in another country, and you have no idea about it. Imagine your man sexualizing a girl who basically looks like a teenager, and he names his daughter after her. Imagine your man naming your daughter after a stripper he's in a relationship with, or a stripper he's having sex with. It could be any other woman, but just imagine your man naming your child after a woman he's cheating on you with. It's very, very aching. It's disturbing, just the thought of it. The advice I'm going to give these women is to change your daughter's name, change her name completely, because if she finds out how she got that name, she may be bullied for it, she may be ridiculed for it. It will make her feel uncomfortable for the rest of her life. And if this man had sexualized Sophia Ray, your daughter is not safe. She's not safe in his presence. One thing I want you guys to know is there are some of these men who are sick. There are some of these men who will sleep with their daughters. There are some of these men. There was a video online of a girl who came out to expose her father for basically paying her OnlyFans content and watching her on OnlyFans creating sexual content. Imagine you create an OnlyFans account and your father is subscribed to your OnlyFans, he's watching your content, he's the highest person who consumes your content, and it turns out to be your father. This girl basically exposed how she didn't know it was her dad until she finally discovered. I'm going to look for that video and I'm going to add it to this one if I succeed to see it. Come to find out, it was her dad who was paying her the most and watching her content. He was the highest person consuming her content on OnlyFans, and she was creating sexual content on OnlyFans. The advice I'm going to give to each and every one of you watching this video is never let your man name your daughter. Most of them are going to name your daughter after their favorite ex-girlfriend. Some of these men will name their daughters after women they are obsessing with, women they sexualize, women they fantasize about, women they have not gotten over. Some of these men name their daughters after their exes. You could be dealing with a guy and he's like, you could be married to a man, you guys have a daughter, and he decides to name your daughter after his ex, and you have no idea about it. Probably you don't know his ex name is Keisha, and he decides to name your daughter Keisha. Most of them name their kids after their favorite ex. Most of them name their kids after women they are obsessed with, women they have dealt with in the past, women they have fumbled. Most of them do this. Women they have sexualized, they name their daughters after these women. So you guys need to be very careful. Don't allow a man to name your child if you don't want to find yourself in situations like this. A lot of people are advising her to divorce her man. Even the other lady, a lot of people are advising her to let go of the relationship, to move on. She should leave him. So many people in the comment section are also telling her the very same thing, to change the name of the child. What do you guys think concerning this video? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Add more points in the comment section. I'm dying to see them, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye. Love you.